Coach, we'll start an opening statement.
Like always, I want to thank you guys for being here and supporting Penn State football, everybody upstairs as well as down. Great team win. I said that in the locker room. I think we're playing really well at times, but I think we got to be more consistent in all three phases. Our offense, is doing some good things with both the run and the pass. We've kind of had the injury bug this year. We've lost a lot of guys either for multiple games or during games. Our defense is doing some great things with sacks and turnovers. We just got to be more consistent. I thought our special teams, like I said, has played well for the first couple weeks of the year, but did not play well tonight. We were inconsistent. The fact that we lost Akeel Lynch and Saquon Barkley, Marcus Allen, Evan Schwan during the game. We didn't have Jordan Lucas, Andrew Nelson, Naeem Workman-White available. We grinded through it. It's nothing like seeing AJ get his first career touchdown, 71 yards at 330 pounds, and then be able to go in. Probably the thing that was more impressive than that is the very next series, the defense has got to go right back on the field, and he's in there. So I was really impressed with that. So. Overall, found a way to get a win. The offense, I thought we were a little bit more aggressive, opened some things up, but we weren't as consistent running the ball after we lost Akeel and Saquon. So, the biggest takeaway for me is we're showing flashes in all three phases, but we must be more consistent. So open it up.
Raise your hand, we'll get back to you.
James, do you have mixed emotions considering how much you lost, considering what Anthony Zettel's father? Are there a lot of mixed emotions with you today?
Yeah, this is something that you guys found out about either this morning or last night. Now, this is something that he and his family have been dealing with for some time now, and really the last 3 weeks, it's been tough. It's been pretty intense for him and his family for the last 3 weeks. I guess he's drove home, after each game. So it's been tough. We're going to modify practice tomorrow because we're going to go and support him. So we're going to modify practice as much as we possibly can. We still got to get our work done to be prepared next week. But we talk about being a family. We're going to back that up all the time. And I thought Anthony and his family handled this unbelievably well, as challenging as it is. We're always going to put that as priority. That's always going to be the priority, your family. There was no pressure for him to play the last 3 weeks. That was up to him. Felt like that's what his family and his dad would have wanted him to do. So, special kid, special family. And all his brothers in that locker room are going to have his back.
James, if I could follow up, what does it say about him as a leader, as a member of this team, that he's still giving his heart out there for you guys after everything he's kind of gone through?
Well, I think a couple of things. I think it shows the type of commitment and the type of bond that these guys have as a family, that it's really looked at not like it's Anthony's family, but it's our family. It's our family all kind of going through something together and supporting him the best way we possibly can. Everybody handles these situations differently. And however these young men, decide to handle these situations, we'll be there to support them, whether it's playing or not playing. Anthony felt like that was the right thing to do for his situation, his family, and we'll support that. So, we love him, we love him. And his whole family, and I'm just really proud of him and the whole team. I prefer to move on, guys. This is also personal business. I want to be careful how much I talk about and how much I share. But this team is going to be here to support him and his family every step of the way, and I think they've handled it better than most, the Zettel family.
I know you don't get into the injuries much, but Is there anything you can tell us about Akil and Saquon? It looked like Saquon was ready to try to get back into the game. Is there anything you can give us update on whether or not they'll be able to play moving forward?
Yeah, guys, not only do I not talk about it, but I don't really have anything I can really tell you at this point. A lot of times no different with you guys. You get an injury, you don't really know, you don't really know the specifics and the details until the next morning. The next morning get a chance to check these things out when there's tests that need to be done. So I don't even, not only do I not share it, I wouldn't have anything even if I did at this point really to share with you. Tomorrow morning and some of the tests that we'll do between now and then will tell us.
James, you mentioned the offense showing flashes, that everyone's showing flashes. How much of a part of the game plan was Saeed Blacknell this week? Was he's given an increased role, or did it just sort of happen to work out that he had 4 catches for over 100 yards? And what did you think of his night?
Yeah, I think a lot of times you guys think, the game plan is to just run the ball and not throw it more than 5 yards down the field. It's really just kind of how it plays out. I mean, we always have shots in the game plan. We always have goes in the game plan. And it depends on the flow of the game and how things are going. I mean, the first one I think we hit to Saeed was a quick game where we were throwing a stick route to the tight end, but they had everybody so low down in the box. Hack took a shot up the field and put some air under it, and we went and made a play. We want to be able to do those things. That was a defense we talked about all week long, that they had pretty much everybody at within 8 yards of the line of scrimmage with high risk, high reward. We were able to run and pass, early on in the game. Late in the game, we weren't. So we had to mix some things up, get the ball down the field, take some shots to halfback pass, things like that. I think we can continue to be aggressive like that.
James, this rash of injuries that you guys have had now, is it something that's going to make you reevaluate? Can you put your finger, or is it just a string of bad luck? Or do you think the kids are tired? Or, can you put your finger on it?
No, we'll look at all those things and talk to the training staff as well as the strength staff and the coaches. We're not doing anything different than we haven't done for the last 5 years. And the other thing is these injuries are happening during games. Saquon Barkley gets tackled on the sideline and kind of gets rolled up on. I don't think that has anything to do with anything like that. It's just we've had injuries in games. I don't know how much you can factor those things in, but we'll look at it all. We'll study it. But we've had a number of them. There's no doubt about it.
James, I think you kind of just answered my question a minute ago, but it looked like they were begging you or daring you to throw the ball. They were crowding the box and daring you to throw the ball, man coverage and so forth. Talk about the adjustments that your guys had to make, receivers, protection, and also Christian, to kind of deal with that.
Yeah, it wasn't like anything that was new that just showed up in this game. They showed that on film. Really, in coach, their head football coach was their defense coordinator his entire career. That's kind of his style. So we kind of had anticipated that that's how the game was going to go. So we worked on it all week long, both the run and the pass, mixing some things up. We had a lot of respect for their corners. Tonight, our guys were able to run by them a few times and make some plays. So, it was about what we anticipated going into the game.
Coach Franco. Right here. I'm here.
Sorry.
Right here, Coach. Just talk to me about what you saw from Christian Hackenberg from a confidence standpoint, staying in the pocket, delivering throws. Just what did you see from him this afternoon?
Yeah, I thought he played well. I think there's obviously some things that he could do better and we could do better. There's no doubt about it. But I thought he did some really, really good things tonight. I think he's done some really nice things the last 3 weeks, especially in terms of run game, blitz checks, and things like that. Tonight he was able to get the ball to his playmakers, and they made some plays for him. So, I've been pleased with him overall. There's some areas that I know he'd like to do better, and we'd like him to do better. Yeah, there's no doubt. I can say that about everybody. You're going to be saying that the rest of your life. So, the most important thing is he made some plays today.
James, to kind of follow that up, he hit a couple of deep shots today. Do you think that opened up some of the underneath routes, the quick passing game, because it seemed like that worked for you guys as well?
Yeah, I think, obviously whenever you can get the ball down the field, it helps with the short stuff. Even some of the stuff that we did throw short, we got pass interference calls because they were squatting and sitting on routes. So, There's no doubt about that. Yeah, there's no doubt. When you can stretch the field, that opens up opportunities underneath. Typically, it also loosens people up for the run game because now they got to go to a cover 2 shell or something like that. But these guys like this, they're not going to do that. That's who they are, and you can hit 5 deep balls, and they're not going to stop doing it because that's just how they play.
James, maybe a question easier to answer once you watch film, and especially from where you were on the sideline. But the kick return, do you have any idea what went wrong there on the one they returned for a touchdown? And just sort of what did you think was different about the coverage and the return teams for you guys this week compared to last week?
Again, it's hard to tell. If I had to imagine, guys got washed out of their lane. I do know they went into this week with the game plan that they were going to double team Nick Scott, which makes sense. I would do the same thing. He's been playing really well on kickoff coverage. But we didn't punt the ball consistently today, and we didn't kick the ball consistently today. We kicked the ball out of bounds. We kicked the ball in the middle of the field. And now that throws off all your assignments and all your lane discipline that we need to have. So I need to watch the tape on that. But they had a plan that they were going to take Nick Scott out with double team. I know that, and then we weren't consistent with our kick locations, which puts stress on the kickoff coverage.
James, just in general, how do you feel about your running back depth? You got to think about that with what's behind Mark Allen and Nick Scott, I guess, now at this point.
Yeah, it's funny. I got asked the same question at halftime. How do you feel about these freshmen having to play? And I said, well, I think we've played 18 freshmen, and all the running backs are freshmen besides Akil. So, Mark Allen had a great camp. Nick Scott has had a great camp. We're going to have to look at it. Again, depending on what happens tomorrow, and if we feel like we're going to get these guys back or not. Either those 2 guys will step up, and we'll have to bring somebody else up, whether it's Jonathan Thomas or whoever. We'll have to look at that. Those guys have shown some good things, but they're all freshmen.
Time for 2 more. Audrey?
James, Garrett Sickles has been very disruptive for you guys, and we hear so much about Carl, and we see Carl's numbers. But what do you like about what Garrett's been giving you guys the last few weeks?
I think the thing that stands out about Garrett is his motor. It goes hard every single play. He's got a really good set of tools. You look at Nassib. He's got some elite, overpowering size, speed combination things that are really showing up. Sickles is the guy that just does a lot of things well for us. First-time starter and has really grown with experience and confidence right now. And then it's great to see some of those other guys get it. Curtis Cawthorn comes in and gets a sack. Torrance Brown had a sack the week before. I even saw Antoine White make some big plays as well in the backfield tonight. So that depth is really important for us.
Hey, Coach. Austin Johnson with kind of the big boy gallop into the end zone. What does that do for motivation for the team, especially when it is the capitalization off a turnover after kind of a shaky third quarter there?
Yeah, I think we're doing a pretty good job right now of creating turnovers on defense and protecting the ball on offense. I saw some flashes that I wasn't real pleased about in terms of ball security. We reached the ball out on the goal line. We don't do that unless it's 4th down. It's not worth taking the risk. And I saw a few other times, as much as we work ball security, we got to do a better job there. Defensively, we're disruptive right now. And that's kind of what I've talked about. We're showing up in flashes, being really disruptive. Excuse me. We can be more consistent. But those big plays, the sideline ignited, when he made that play and then carried on. I think other things too. Our defense doing a good job when the ball's on the ground. You never know how the officials are going to call the play, whether they call it incomplete or a fumble, scooping it up and playing live until the play's over. So I think all those things we've handled really well. But AJ and Nasser are 2 guys we've been talking about over and over and over again. And I expect Zettel to get back to his big play potential here, very soon. His running form? Awesome. Yeah, he scored 71 yards. Beautiful running form. Thanks, guys.